Da, 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 da.
Oh my goodness, look at that. Hello, you absolute legends. Welcome back to the channel. John here for another update on the Rover 75. Could it have been anything else? Well, yeah, there's like 20 other cars in the fleet that we need to do some work on, but this one is getting quite a bit of love the past couple of months, quite rightly so as well. When we last spoke to Dad, he'd lapped some valves into the head and he was in the process of getting that cylinder head back together, getting the cams in. He'd got them all cleaned up and had been just tinkering on the car. I think he was shaking the heater matrix about as well, trying to unblock that some more. I've been at work all day today, and as you can see, there's been some work in the car. In fact, I can't see the cylinder head on the bench. Is it in the car? I think so. We'll have a chat with Dad and see what he's been up to this rainy afternoon. Hello. You all right?
I'm doing well, mate. Thank you very much.
Fancy finding you in here.
Well, I wasn't in here. I was in the house going for my tea.
Yes, you was, but then I've come round for a Rover 75 update because the good people of the internet will want to know. They're following this saga now. Almost, I think a lot of people think that they're almost on the journey with us. So thank you very much for everyone that's commented, liked, subscribed and been involved so far. Last time we spoke to you, you was farting about with the heater matrix.
Yep.
You'd lapped the valves back into the head.
Yep.
And you was waiting for some sealant.
Yes.
What have you done now?
Well, we've got the sealant.
Yes.
And da 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 da.
Oh my goodness! Look at that. Hang on a minute. That's a K Series Rover 1.8 engine cylinder head.
It is, yes.
Back on the car. Let me come around this way. Let me come around this way. So, have a look. You've not just stood that on there. You've actually got it back in the car.
Yes.
Is the head on? No, you have not. Hang on, let me move this out of the way.
It's because the plugs are out so I can spin it over.
Whoop, pop.
Oh, compression.
You've got some compression, which is also good news.
It is. That's a top tip, that is.
That is.
Make sure you've got some compression. Where did that go?
Oh, it's down there somewhere. So hang on a minute. You've done it.
No, well, I'm still tinkering around. I've got stuff to do.
So the elastomer gasket arrived. It came from Discount MG Rover Spares. Thanks to the team there. You got a free sticker as well, which you're chuffed about.
Excellent.
Have you put that on your toolbox yet?
No.
Oh, we need to get that on there. Talk us through then what you've done. So actually, I saw you yesterday. What have you done since then?
Put the cam carrier back on with the sealant.
Yeah. Is that the sealant I bought, or?
Yeah. And then I've put the head on.
So that orange stuff that I can see in there is all the sealant.
It is, yeah.
And it goes all the way on that
It does.
cam bit. What's the red marks on there?
That's so I know I'd got that bolt done.
Okay.
'Cause I keep popping in and doing a bit, so if I put marks on stuff, I know I've done it.
Okay, so I rudely interrupted you, so what have you done?
Well, there's something I just wanted to mention to everybody. I just reminded me when I was doing it, we used to have trouble with some of them in the early days. We'd have rattly tappets, you know. And what it was, there weren't enough sealer on this rail, and the oil, instead of going to the tappets, was coming out of a thing here. And the way you found it was you took the top
Thing
off.
where, sorry?
Coming out of... It was
Oh,
leaking.
in there?
Yeah. And you used to get your mate to spin it over on the starter and you could see the oil dribbling out. And it just reminded me of that. It's not something we came across very often, but it did happen now and again. But you mustn't put too much sealant on, but as it gets in the oil ways.
So you think
that's why you use this anaerobic sealant.
Because it goes off?
No, it doesn't go off.
Whatever.
It only goes off where it's squished together.
Right.
So if anything does get in the oil ways, it gets washed out. So if you use RTV, it just goes and bungs everything up.
Okay. That's interesting, because I was going to ask you about that. Why do we use anaerobic sealant?
The only place it'll dry is where it's sandwiched together. Also, it tends to stick stuff together, so you don't get any movement.
Okay, fair enough. So you've put the head back on there, you've put the cams back in, and you've fitted the gasket.
Yeah, fitted the new head gasket. And I've put
People are going to be mad at you, almost as mad as I am, for you fitting the gasket without us here.
And I've put the timing belt on.
No, you haven't. Okay, so let's just keep talking about the head here.
Yeah.
So just talk us through the process. I'm guessing it's a total reverse of what we did taking it off.
Yes, it is, mate.
So
yes.
the block that I sanded down and got nice and clean, what did you have to do on there? Anything else?
I just make sure it went round it again to make sure everything was perfect.
And then-
we've already done all the level checks and what have you, and we've got the lovely new gasket, which is definitely a lot different to what they used to be like, the metal and rubber gaskets.
So it had MLS gasket on, which failed due to the liner tolerances. You've put the new elastomer gasket on, which is a clone of the Payen BW750.
Right, you know more about that?
I do, as supplied by Discount MG Rover Spares. Does that literally just lay on?
Well, it sits on 2 dowels.
Okay.
The new dowels they supply are much, much stronger than the old ones.
You've got the old dowels there, have you?
The old dowels. See, they used to have plastic dowels in when they first did the K series.
Yeah.
Then they went on to the metal dowels.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Supposedly to stop the head from jiggling about.
Yeah.
But the new ones are even stronger.
Thicker.
Thicker, yeah.
So you could tell a physical difference between the dowel quality from the old gasket and the new
There's
gasket.
just more substantial, more industrial, really. That's the only way to describe it.
Machined.
Well, with the machines, yeah. But they're much stronger. Let me just show you a picture as a matter of academic.
Oh, you've got a picture there, have you?
I've got a picture on my phone. That's because I was interested, really.
What's
That's
that?
That's the picture of the back of the car running to my...
Oh yeah, we found the man, which is good news. Who hit your Hyundai.
He did.
And I suppose, because people will be following that saga as well, he admitted to it, didn't he? Which is also good news. Hang on, let's have a look at that. Oh, right, I see. So the one at the bottom is the one you've taken off, and the one at the top is the new one. Yeah, that's better, isn't it?
It's
much
more
better.
substantial, isn't it?
So you fitted that. Then what have you had to do? You put the head back on. This
Put the bolts in.
yeah. So you put this back on, this whole metal piece.
Yes.
You've done that bit there. You've put the cams back in.
Yep.
So it all goes on as one. And then you put these big long bolts in.
Yep.
Which are the head bolts. New head bolts.
Yes, they are.
That I supplied, and they're okay.
Seem to be. They're tightened down a treat.
They're actually courtesy of John Simpson from the Boston Classic Car Club. So thank you to John Simpson for the head bolts there. You've tightened them down. Talk us through the process, because I'm guessing it's not just slap the bolts in and whiz them down with a gun.
No, it's not, mate. You put them in and you torque them all down to 20 Newton metres.
Yeah.
And then you make some reference marks so that you know where you're finishing up at.
Is that what these white marks are?
So the original bolts used to have some little notches on them. These haven't.
But these
So I
haven't.
put the reference marks on. You get your anglia dial torque gauge thing.
What's that? Oh, right, okay. How does that work?
Put it on there. Let's say you want to tighten it 180 degrees. You set your thing. Then you tighten it down until...
That's a very clever piece of kit.
Well, everybody's been using them for years now, mate. So you go 180, then you go around and do them 180, and that's it. So it's 20 Newton metres in a turn, but
There we go.
in a stage.
So that's back on.
Yes, mate.
And then, did you test it? Did you have to do anything else with that, or?
Well, I've been doing the top tip. What happens with these is you'll put them head on and you go, oh no, it won't start. Why won't it start? It's because the valves aren't shutting properly. Because when you take them to pieces, the lifters tend to take up the slack, the hydraulic tappets.
Yeah.
So what you need to be doing, when you put it together, you just keep turning it over and it pumps the oil back out of the lifters.
When you say turning it over, is that manually using the pulley at the bottom?
Yeah, just keep turning it over until you get 4 compressions. You know you're going to start then. And you can do it while you're slowly assembling it, really. You just keep giving it a turn. But when we first started doing it, we never twigged. And you'd be there cranking them over, and next thing you know, it had flooded itself. And it's because the valves weren't shutting properly.
Okay, that is a top tip. I like that.
You tend to do it while you're assembling it, to be honest with you.
What, crank it over?
This one inlet valve was stuck wide open, and one exhaust was.
And how did you combat that then?
While I was putting it together, I left that valve wide open, so it squidged the air out of it.
Okay, good.
Squidged the air out of the lifter.
So you're confident that that's been put back together, right? Gasket, you're not put it on upside down?
No, you'd be very stupid if you did.
I'm guessing it's shaped to the block,
It is, mate.
So you can't put it on upside down?
You'd be really soft if you did. It would be a real...
You'd be grumpy if you had put it on wrong, though,
well,
wouldn't
you'd be a bit silly because it's a long way out. Because lots of head gaskets was quite simple, similar, and they used to have top on them. But no, you
can't put it on wrong, is what you're saying.
It'd be a big mistake if you got it wrong.
Do you think I could have put it on right?
No. No. Yeah, of course you could. You'd see it looks wrong, mate.
Okay, so that's the head back on then.
Yes, mate.
Looking good. What else have you been doing? Hang on, you said you've done the timing belt.
I've done the timing belt.
So with that, you've fitted the new water pump. You'd actually done that in the last video. Yeah. You reckon it's going to be a much better water pump as well now, because the vanes are a bit bigger. Yeah, there's the new belt. That's the Dayco timing belt there. And you fitted a new tensioner.
Yeah, I fitted a new tension. It needed that, dude.
Was that a big job?
No.
How long did that take?
Well, it's just a few minutes, really.
So talk us through the process of replacing a timing belt, because for me, if I was to be told, oh, it needs a whole new timing belt change, mate, that sounds like a big job.
Well, it's not a big job, but it's just you've got to be careful and get it right.
Is it time consuming?
No, not really. No, it's not. It's honestly, it's dead simple as long as you just follow the book and do it properly.
So how have you done this then? What was the process?
Well, you put it on keep it on the safe timing marks.
Yep. So you've put the head on.
Yep.
You then put these wheels back on.
Yep.
You've put the tensioner back in and the water pump.
Yep.
Do you put the belt on before you've got all that on, or do you put that on at the end and stretch it over, so to speak?
What you do is you've got your bottom pulley still off at the time.
Yeah.
And there's a gear on the bottom of the crank.
Okay, let's have a look at that. Can we see that down there? Probably not. Oh yes, I see it, yeah.
So then you've put it on the bottom, tight all the way around this run here.
Yeah.
What I normally do.
Oh, you've gone. Where have you gone?
Because you need a third hand. Either a clothes peg or...
A clothes peg?
Something like that. It's just that holds it there.
Oh, so that holds the belt on that.
So then you've got... So you want this side tight. You want it timed up on your timing marks with your timing tool, which I ain't got in at the minute. You put it on the bottom, and you bring it round here. Your tension is slackened right off.
Yeah.
And you slip it on there.
Yes.
And then you tension it up. Well, you put the bottom pulley on then. Okay. Put the bottom pulley on, then you tension it all up.
How do you tension it up? How do you get it from a slack belt to a nice tight belt?
This is the self-adjusting one, so you have this there, and you turn this Allen keyhole here.
Yeah.
And that pointer will be up here.
Yeah.
And as you turn this anti-clockwise, that pointer goes down. When the pointer's pointing to that V, then you lock the lock nut up.
Okay, I understand. And so that's nice and tight. In fact, it's exceptionally tight. Is there a tightness that needs to be?
No,
is there a specific...
There's a spring in this thing that does it all.
Okay, so automatically
that's just the base setting.
Yeah. And then it does it when it's going, basically. It tightens itself up.
But it keeps itself tight, yeah.
Okay.
If you watch this, look, can you see if I put... You have to go around the other side.
Oh, let's go around the other side.
Go look at the pointer on the tent. I'm just going to make...
Yeah.
So it's on a spring inside.
Oh, I can see that spring going up and down at the bottom now. Good. Good quality belt, by the looks of things.
Dayco's out, they've been on the way forever.
Yeah, looks good. So timing belt's on.
Yeah, I'm leaving the cover off to now, because we'll start it up with the cover off to make sure we've got no leaks in these cam seals.
So what are you waiting for now then?
Coolant.
Yeah, I haven't bought any yet.
No.
I need to get down to the coolant shop, but as you know, I've been working, as I say. So I need to order the coolant. It's 6.2 litres at the moment. It's very expensive, but yes. Then we can just tip it in. We don't need to worry about diluting it down. Good stuff. It is very expensive. Very expensive. I don't know how much you'd be expecting to pay for oat coolant ready mix, but...
How much is it?
Well, it's like 50 odd quid.
No.
Yeah.
No, don't pay that.
No, exactly. But we'll have a look. That's why I tasked you to have a look.
No, I've got mechanicking to do. And the trouble is, my old mate, I sent left you a big lump of receipts of the stuff I've spent, and they got disappeared. They did.
Well, no, they're in the glove box. I didn't want them to blow away whilst we were on our test drive.
Got stuck under the mat. To be fair,
It's been
brushed under the carpet.
well, it's been filed pending further action.
Yeah, hoping I'll forget about it.
No, absolutely not. We'll see you, Ray. And actually, the good people of YouTube, they're paying for you to have.
Bless them.
All these parts and bits and pieces. Right, what else? So hang on a minute. I'm seeing all these gubbins and stuff just kicking around. That's obviously the top of the engine there. Yeah. What parts have you got out on here? These are all your tools. It's a bit organised chaos.
There's no parts there.
You've got torque wrench. You've got your cam turner that you made that we discussed. That's your your gauge, your angular gauge.
Yeah.
All your bits and pieces here. Nissan Micra Flame Red. I'm guessing that's what you've been using.
Yeah, because I keep nipping out and doing a bit, and so I think to myself, and your mum will shout at me to do something. So
what's this? This looks old.
Oh, that's my colloidal graphite that I put on the threads when I tighten the head down. Oh. It's the slipperiest stuff known to man. So it just makes it easier to. There's not so much friction between the bolt heads and the head.
Okay. What's over here? There's loads of stuff over here.
So when you're tightening it down, it doesn't go.
Yeah. That makes sense. These are the parts left to go on. Engine mounting. What's this here?
Power steering belt tensioner.
Oh, right, that's got to go on.
It's pinned back so I can get the bolts on.
Okay. These are the old dowels. And then your nuts and bolts here. So far, you've managed to put everything in that came off. You've not broken any bolts.
No. I'll be honest with you, son. If you'd got me some coolant here and I just popped out here for a couple of hours, it'd be done tonight. But
yeah,
I'm not going to do.
I haven't got you any coolant, I'm afraid.
There's no panic.
I've let the team down there.
There's no panic. I keep helping your mum with her decorating and.
Yeah, Mum's decided to do some decorating and bits and pieces. We're getting closer. It's now. It's nearly a week to the Rustival now. It's next Saturday, the 9th. So we're getting closer. Will we be up and running?
That's why I've not been waiting for you. I've decided I'm going to crack on, Gromit.
With a week to go, are you confident?
No.
Well, we'll do our little road trip.
I'm not confident. I'll not have any blinking coolant.
No, I'll get you some coolant, I promise. Good stuff. Any challenges on the way with that one? Anything that caused you grief?
Getting the coolant.
But putting it all back together, you're happy?
Yeah, well, I was careful, son. All them rusty old threads on the blooming manifold and that, I cleaned them all up. And
so I left you yesterday at, what time did I leave here yesterday? 4 o'clock. And you were waiting for the sealant. Then you sent me the photograph to say, I've actually put it all back together. With the head, not on the car. So from that point, when you've got the block back to get the head back together, all the valves in, all the cams in, how long did it take to get to that point where we are now?
Well, it's hard to say. 2.5 hours.
Yeah, okay.
Just popping out and doing a bit here and there. Took your mum to a meeting, and then I come and did a bit, and then I picked your mum up, and then I had some cup of tea, and then I did a bit more.
But if you were working in the main dealer on that bit...
Yeah, but in the main dealer, mate, I should have been in with the old air ratchet. Chuck it out and do the next one, yeah.
50 minutes?
No.
Good. So what's left to do?
Inlet manifold, put all the hoses on, hang the engine mounting on roughly and start her up really, want to get the coolant.
And then we'll see.
It's just...
See how we go.
In all honesty, there's an hour's work, that's all.
Left to do.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Right, good stuff, thank you. Well, there you have it then. It's pretty much, as you heard Dad say, an hour away from being complete, and then straight on the road to Rustival. Maybe not. We've got a few bits to do in the meantime, including give it a good clean. Hope you've enjoyed this update. Looking good. Looking more of an engine. It's actually very beautiful seeing all that sealant, the orange of the sealant, the little glints from the oil and the red of the flame red Nissan Micra. It's weird, but it is a beautiful thing to see. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, like the video please, that really does help. If you haven't already subscribed, it's free to do so, and it keeps you up to date with stuff on the channel. And well, it makes us look better because it makes us look like more people are watching the channel. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do. Till next time, have a great day. Let me know in the comments below what you think, if you've enjoyed this so far. Till next time, have a great day. Goodbye. If you've enjoyed this video, I've selected a few more specially for you on this page. Click either side to select them now. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button to always stay up to date with the channel.